Hello, I'm Paulie Capo and welcome to this episode of Training Minutes. Today we're going to be going over multiple window lifts of downed firefighters. All too often, we take the firefighters or civilians out the way we entered the structure. This should not be our primary plan. We should utilize the window if feasible. The hallways are filled with firefighters and hose lines. And also we're dragging our firefighters through products of combustion. So let's get them out of the IDLH atmosphere as quick as we can. So our first lift is going to be the pregnant lady carry of a downed firefighter. So let's watch this go down. We start with shutting the door to the room you're in to provide a safe haven. Next, we'll remove the window and sash if not done already. Our firefighter will be placed with their feet positioned at the base of the sill. The position of the firefighter on the ladder is that their shoulders should be level with the sill or slightly below, and they will be utilizing an alternative leg lock. If the traditional leg lock is used, then it will be extremely difficult to remove it once the load of the firefighter is on you. The air pack will now be removed from the downed firefighter via the roll method. With the door shut and window taken, the products of combustion should be minimal at ground level. In this instance, we will demonstrate a 3-person lift. The firefighter gets lifted to the sill, and the legs are positioned on the shoulders of the firefighter on the ladder. As his arms straighten out, the injured firefighter drops into the nicely created void space. Then the firefighter is brought to the ground. We again start with shutting the door to the room that you are in to provide a safe haven. Next, you need to remove the window and sash if not done already. The firefighter this time will be placed with their head positioned at the base of the sill. The position of the firefighter on the ladder will be a little higher in the window than before, and will be utilizing an alternative leg lock. Now the rescuers will lift first and then flip the firefighter out of the window. The ladder carry is across the arms with the head slightly elevated. The next lift is done just as the last, but the ladder carry is different. The legs now go on either side of the firefighter's knees, and he gets brought down the ladder. Unless the plan is communicated to all involved, the position of the firefighter exiting the window usually dictates what ladder carry is to be done. This also works phenomenal on civilians as well. The next episode we're going to be going over window lifts and removals without the presence of a ground ladder. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Safety Components, and St. Petersburg College Fire Training Center. Thank you for watching another episode of Training Minutes. Hello, I'm Paulie Capo and welcome to this episode of Training Minutes. We're going to continue our window removals of downed firefighters or civilians, but with this time without the presence of a ground ladder. We're going to continue to take our firefighters out of the IDLH atmosphere as quick as possible. So we're going to watch the firefighters come in, package our victim, lift them out the window, and lower them on some rope. Same as before, we start with shutting the door to the room you are in to provide a safe haven. Next, we remove the window and sash if not done already. In this instance, we must package our firefighter. Next, a personal rope will be placed on the firefighter's shoulder strap and a rescue will get into position for a body belay. The firefighter will be lifted to the window via the pregnant lady lift. and the injured firefighter is slowly lowered until the rope gets taut and then becomes body belayed from the rescuer inside.
I'd like to thank our sponsor, Safety Components, and St. Petersburg College Fire Training Center. Thank you for watching another episode of Training Minutes. Hello, I'm Paulie Capo, and welcome to this episode of Training Minutes. Today we're going to be going over PACE methodology to train our firefighters. We're going to use firefighter packaging as our example to demonstrate this. PACE stands for Primary, Alternative, Contingency, and Emergent. The purpose of PACE is to train our firefighters with different levels of skill sets on the same topic without boring our experienced firefighter or overwhelming the junior member. The second advantage to this method is to introduce contingency plans into our training, so our firefighters will execute seamless transitions, ending with a successful outcome. Let's watch our firefighters package a downed firefighter. This is great and all, but we can't only teach this method when we achieve packaging our downed firefighter. There are times in our dynamic field where this isn't always achievable, so we're going to need an alternative plan. So now let's watch Kevin come in and do our alternative plan to this method. In this example, the waist belt was unable to be connected between the firefighter's legs. If no alternative plan was taught, we could find one persevering. That's repeating the same action over and over until they succeed or die trying. So Kevin now went over the alternative plan to packaging a downed firefighter. Now we're going to take it up a notch, and Kevin's going to show us a contingency plan to this. In this contingency plan, the firefighter was found with his waist belt not buckled. If we don't train on scenarios like this, we'll find ourselves trying to process a solution. When we don't rise to the occasion, at times we sink to the level of our training. So now we institute a contingency plan in this scenario. Now lastly, we're going to go to worst case scenario, and then Tommy's going to show us an emergent plan on firefighter packaging. Lastly, the firefighter was found with the air pack ripped off. In this scenario, after Tommy addressed any air concerns, he then put on a hasty harness to help him drag the firefighter out of the IDLH atmosphere. As well as creating multiple plans, this is an excellent way to challenge all members of different experience levels while doing the same drill. As the junior member accomplishes the primary plan, the senior firefighter will accomplish the alternative, contingency, or emergent plans. Another way to progress down this ladder is to introduce multiple forms of stimuli, whether it is to black out masks or create distractions after primary plans are proficient, of course. Hopefully this will help you in training your different levels of firefighters, as well as drilling on contingency plans. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Safety Components, and St. Petersburg College Fire Training Center. Thank you for watching another episode of Training Minutes.